like you're half asleep or maybe 2/3 asleep, maybe
Oh,
3/4.
the
Could be
drum
3/4.
beat woke me up. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Going Over podcast. It is me. It is I. It is you. It is we. Now, forever together. Your neighborhood friendly coach, trainer, promoter, 43-year-old professional wrestler, tired as shit as ever. Zack, prime time, Reeb, and I'm joined alongside my podcast partner, as always, the 7-foot wrecking ball, Paul Isadora, and those blinds behind you tell a different story today. My good friend, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Down here on the border of Tijuana, Mexico. Just we're just living it up, man. It's early in the morning. The beach. We got the beach outside the window here. Uh, it's gonna be a good time for me personally, but
Good. That's
unfortunately,
really good.
you know, I'm, I'm gonna miss out on the show today in Reno, Nevada. But you're gonna
Yeah.
be there,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be extending your wrestling weekend into numerous straight days here. Uh, you look like you're on just a few hours of sleep.
Just a
So
few.
it's gonna be good, man. I'm down here. I'm down here for personal reasons for some basketball tournaments. So exciting for that. But what I'm really excited about is to hear about the inaugural episode of Limelight at the new spot, man, where you guys are going to be on a monthly basis.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. Power of positivity, perception is the way you need to look at it. And yeah, it would. Tired. You get there. Rick came in on the airport. We had a rough day of training, like we say, running dicks into the dirt. And we're up early, just like today. Alarm goes off at 4 o'clock every day. Get busy. There's grit to my grind. And we're up early and we go on the walk. We pick up Reno. We go to the gym. We then proceed to go over. It's already hot as ball shit, and we load the ring, and then we wait around because we think we're gonna get in there at 3. We're getting in at 3, right? And we did, but they say, oh, the contract said 5 o'clock, but you're here early. And everybody shows up and setup goes well. It's a new venue. We had never been in there before. Everybody showed up. We got what we got done. Uh, I didn't know it's Friday. Friday shows are always a little different. People, show up at different times. But we get through this long show. It's hot as shit in the locker room, but out there, when you get out of the locker room, which is a really nice locker room, Paul, the air conditioner's out there. So you're literally sweating and fighting to get out of the locker room to get out into the ring to wrestle. That was a first. It's like, man, we got to get out of here. We got to get to that ring and wrestle. And I mean,
Cool down in the ring.
oh yeah, you want to get out there, right? And it's Friday night, summer, and I picked the day where right next to us at the basically the Wood Bat Baseball League stadium right next door not only had a big game, they had a fireworks display, and that was advertised, which I must have missed that. And then just another rocks throwing distance at the Earl Yorton Little League field, they got championship games. They're hosting championship games, not the local district championships that you play in. It's a bigger championship. So that's packed. There's a big concert in town. But we did well. We drew a decent crowd. It was a very loud crowd, and the guys went out and performed, man. So like at the end of the night, you're just tired and you're sitting there, And then people start to come back and tell you, they're like, hey man, I think that was one of the better shows. And you're like, what? Just worn out, tired, hot, everything else. But yeah, it was good, man. It was a very loud crowd. When you get a smaller audience and you're like, oh man, this isn't the bigger audience that I'm used to, but the crowd is very loud and the positivity in the locker room, man, is yeah, it was good, and it's something that I see building and growing. But yeah, it was just different, and I know you probably feel that because like coming back with the shows where we're going to be at today in Reno, sometimes it's a smaller vibe, and you're building something back up. So this isn't something we're building back up. This was something brand new, and everybody thought it was a success, and it's just weird for me because I'm so used when we go to Red Bluff and Oroville and I'm so used to what we have built up in those towns that now I'm in my town and there's a lot going on and it's summertime, but sometimes I have to take my perspective, right? I have to take a step back and go, hey man, take a deep breath, enjoy the ride, and enjoy the good people around you because this is something this is something that is going to be good. And sometimes I forget uh about that journey when you're starting in a new town during the summertime. And that's I'm very hard on myself, and I know you know that in knowing me all these years. But yeah, it was I'm tired, man, but it was a good learning experience all the way around. I learned a lot yesterday, and I want to get into that with you. But what do you think? What do you
Right.
think about what I'm saying right now? Am I delirious
Yeah, you're
or
on the brink. It sounds like you're on the brink of deliriousness, and then you're getting ready to jump into the car and drive several hours and get to Reno. And I'm sure that trip is going to be full of wrestling talk and booking the territory, as they say. Like back in the day, we're going to be on the road. We're going to be booking the territory. So, but I think it's an exciting time for you because it's like this is the beginning of something that's going to be really special, and obviously you're just getting your feet wet, getting back to a town that you haven't ran in for over 2 decades, right? So, I think it's a good thing that you had a hot crowd, right? And that's what we build off of. We build off of those hot crowds, and then the hope is that you go, those people that were in the crowd will tell somebody else next time, and the crowd's going to be bigger, and hopefully it's going to be just as hot, and you're going to get uh, what you're looking for, right? And we know that this isn't it isn't going to be a home run the first time that we go out there and do it, right? This is what we're building something, and so you go back to the new town, and this is the foundation that you're building, right? You build the foundation with the hot crowd here, and you go from there, and hopefully next month it's going to be it's going to be bigger, right? You're going to go out and you're going to put in the work like you always do as far as advertising and getting the word out there. So I don't have any fear that it's going to continue to get better. And moving forward, I feel like you have a good product, uh, and the fans are going to see that, and the fans are going to come out and support it. So it's kind of funny because you can never you never know what's going to happen. Like everyone always is like, you know, this show for us here in Reno today. Uh, it's the Reno Rodeo is going on right now, and I was just having a discussion yesterday with one of the business partners. It's like, I don't know why we're running a show in June while against the rodeo, and it's like, well, we didn't run a show last June, and it was like, oh, it's all, we never get a good crowd in against the rodeo. So I guess we're gonna find out. You know, this is the show that I feel like we did the most marketing that we've ever done. So we'll see what the turnout is. I'm excited to see, but it's one of those deals. Like, you just never know, like, what else is going on in your town on a certain day, and how that's going to affect the draw of the show. Like, are people going to be especially, I'm thinking for myself, like, for wrestling fans, are you going to say, hey, I can't spend 2 hours at a wrestling show from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock on a Saturday because I need to be at the rodeo today? Or, since the rodeo runs for weeks at a time, can you go on a different day? So I don't know, man. It was brought to my attention, and there's always things going on in Reno. That's the thing, man. Always stuff going on. So you never know. And I always look at different events, and it's like, oh shit, we shouldn't have done it this time because of this event. But then you're like, when do you do it? When is the right time that there's not going to be a Little League baseball championship going on, and there's not going to be a wood bat league going on, and there's not going to be fireworks, and like, how do you try to plan against those type of events, or try to plan around them, right? You can't just go, hey, I can't run my business because other things are going on in this town. You have to go, hey, I'm going to do a great job marketing, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get those fans to come to the show and build the excitement. And they're going to want to come to this event rather than something else that's going on in town.
Well, I would have taken the In-N-Out Burger from 10 o'clock to midnight crowd.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
Oh, yesterday, man. They were looped around, almost dangerous, looped around almost to the fucking highway. You know what I mean? And you walk in there and it's nothing but just girls with their ass cheeks hanging out with Daisy Dukes and cowboy, tits just popping out everywhere. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, we didn't have one of those girls at the crowd last night. You know what I mean? At the old show last night. But that's the thing. You're out. Talk about putting out 2,500 double-sided flyers for the contest coming up and the show that we did. All the posters that were put up, the newspaper, the podcast, the radio, and that you look at it on that night and you go, man, we drew 75, 80 fans, give or take, whatever. But then you're like, but all that product is out there. That website, yeah. that QR code, it's all out there in the town, right? But when you're looking at it, I just wanted to say too, like I'm looking at the internet this morning, and man, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the Surzas. I want to say thank you to the Illumidays. I want to say thank you to these guys, the veterans like Boyce LeGrand who showed up. I can't get Boyce to show up on time at a big show. And then you look out in the parking lot and right on time at 4 o'clock, here comes the champ. And you want to go, you already know who it is. But I want to thank those guys because they got double bookings, right? They got double bookings. It's not that thing I talk about where they go, when you get the call, they go, hey, man, I double booked myself. Well, I must be the guy you're fucking calling to let know that you double booked yourself. And the other promoter must have not got this call because you're not going to work for me. Those guys that make sure they show up, they change out, they get the stock, the photos and the footage, and they go out to that fucking ring and they put it on. And not only that, they come back through the curtain and they're helping the new referees. They're helping the young talent. And they got places to go, right? Because they got to get down. They got to go to Ugly Show. And they're pulling double duty. And I want to thank those guys because when I turn on the internet this morning, not the internet, but I flip through my phone, I see the guys that especially young talent. And I'm not mentioning names, but you see these guys that message you and they're booked on some of your shows and they go, hey man, I just couldn't get out of work, right? I just couldn't get out of work. And then you see them at a show that has the same amount or a smaller amount of fans wrestling on that show. And they're like, wow, it looks like you could get out of work because you're wrestling on this show when you were supposed to be wrestling here. And I just want to thank some of these guys, man, that are just in this business. What goes a long way. And for you young talent out there, I'm going to be 100%. I'm going to shoot on you. I'm going to shoot all over you, right? If you make a commitment, and this isn't just in wrestling, this is in fucking life as a man, as a woman. If you make a commitment, if you tell somebody, yes, I can, you now have a responsibility as a fucking man to do that because you agreed to do it. You could have said no. No's the complete sentence. You could have been like, nah, can't. Just say no, man. We talk about it all the time. Just say no. If you can't make somebody's booking, even if you have another booking and be a man and say, hey, I can't, I know I committed to you. And this is for everybody too. I'm not just justifying one thing. Don't say, yeah, I can make it. And if you can't make it, say, hey, man, I'm taking another, this event's closer. I'm going to take this booking. I'm letting you know in advance, but this is what I'm going to do because I'm going to respect the fuck out of you. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. Go do your thing. Sucks it didn't work out. Maybe I don't book you no more, but at least you're honest with me. And then you get these guys that go, oh, I got work, man. Oh, I gotta do this. I got to do that. And it's like, man, social media is right here. People that are friends on our friends list are going to be at another show with their phones and we're going to see you. I don't care about what the excuse is now, but everybody don't make up lame ass excuses to people. Okay. I'm a grown ass man. I've been through a lot. The people on my show are grown ass men. Those guys taking double bookings like your Illumidays and your fucking Surzas that show up and they're here and they're there and they're getting with promoters and going, hey man, I'm gonna be wrestling a main event here. Can I go on early there? Or I'm gonna be man, you got to respect those guys, man. You got to respect these guys that are out here just being real with you, having real conversations with you in the locker room. And to you young guys out there, man, if it's fucking somebody over, man, and it pisses me the fuck off. What are your thoughts on that? Because I sit here with you too. We talk all the time, and you go, I'm in the group chat where I'm watching guys come in and like, oh, I completely spaced that you put. I didn't know you had a show. Yeah, you did because I saw your little head pop down when Paul showed you the fucking dates.
Well, it reminds me of when I was playing in college, and we had a guy that was a East Coast guy, and he used to always say, "Word is bond," right? My word is my bond. Like that's what you can judge me on. Is my word, right? Am I trustworthy? Can you take me at my word? But I was having this conversation with somebody the other day about this is like when, and you said this isn't just pro wrestling, this is life, right? This is the same situation is if you call into work and you do the fake, hey, sorry, boss. I'm not feeling good today, right? Hey, I'm not feeling good. I can't make it to work today. And then that person's on their lunch break or something, and they see you out and about doing something. It's like, hey, thought you said you were sick. Thought you said you couldn't make it to work today. This is your business. This is your work. This is, somebody says, I'm sick. I can't make it to work at your show today. And then you see them out and about somewhere else and say, hey, you fucking lied to me, man. And like you said, just be a man, stand up and say, hey, we talk about this, over and over. It's like, we want you to get a better booking somewhere, right? That's the whole goal for us to try to, especially you with all the production that you put into this. This is like, I'm putting together promos for you. I'm putting together stock footage for you. I'm giving you an entrance video. I'm editing your matches with commentary. This is all in an effort to, so you can take that and you can promote yourself to get those, those bigger bookings and to get yourself, to a bigger stage. And we talked about, we've used Journey Fatu in the past as an example. It's like they're going to call you up and say, hey, dude, I just have a better opportunity somewhere else. And, and us as promoters, we have to put our ego to the side and go, you have a better opportunity, somewhere else, that is going to work out better. Whether we believe that is that's true or not, obviously we believe in our product and we think what we're doing is the best thing. But sometimes we have to put the ego to the side and say, you know what, you do have a better opportunity somewhere else, and understand that's really our goal is, to help these guys out and help them get to the next stage, right? That's always for me. It's like, hey, I'm creeping up on 50, right? My time for getting signed and making a living off of this for WWE or AEW or any of these bigger companies is past. But what I can do is I can take my experience both in life and in pro wrestling and help other people try to achieve that goal, and that's, I think for me, that's the reason that we run our school, right? It's not because I want to, take 3 hours out of my my Wednesday and Saturday to go and train one or two people that are, that have the drive inside of them that they're going to show up. And it was like, I was just watching our last episode and thinking about the comment that you made about the PC, right? It's like, these people are getting paid as, most of the time former high level, Division I professional athletes, and they're getting paid to come in and train to try to be a pro wrestler by the best people in the best facility. If you're not going out of your way to be at training and pick up as much information as possible from the people that are the most knowledgeable in your area, then you're doing something wrong. You need to be out there. You need to be seeking out the advice of people that have been around and are doing it at a high level. And we talk about, what does it take to be in the main event somewhere? What are these people doing? I should be watching those matches to do that. So yeah, it's just, I think it's one of those deals, man. Like you have to understand what it takes, and if you're going to, getting back to just, having your word, if I can't trust you that when you say, hey, I can't make it, that you're not saying that because you're just afraid to tell me that you're going to be booked somewhere else, or you took another booking or whatever, then that's the thing, man. It's like, what's the deal here?
Well, at my age, you know what I'm worried about? I it's not about signing to WWE. I know at my age, I'm not blowing a cum shot and knocking the fly off the wall anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't happening no more. I got to take about a month off of jerking off just to get a little bit to shoot out the end. Okay. That's what you young guys out there need to look forward to. Pump, but no dump. You know what I mean? But they're not going. It's not a better deal, and they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you just said it right there. If you don't have the nuts to tell somebody to their face in fucking life, if someone goes, hey, can I get on a show? And you go, maybe next time, we're a little full right now. If you don't have the nuts to tell somebody yes and no and just be fucking honest. Hey man, fuck my ego, right? Fuck my ego. You can tell I'm passionate about this. Fuck my ego. If you call me on the phone and go, hey, I know I'm booked here, but this is a better opportunity for me, and I'm letting you know, I'm not gonna go, I can't believe it. This is terrible. I'm gonna be like, hey, what can I do? You're not going to be here. You're telling me you're not going to be here. I'm going to respect that. But if you're just fucking lying to people, going, if you're just doing that, you're not going to make it anywhere because no one's going to fucking trust you, dude. You could suck the right dick. You can kiss the right ass. You can do all this stupid shit. You can do everything that you think that you got to do. Lick some nuts if you got to, right? To get to the top if you think that's what you're going to do. That ain't going to get you there, pal. And I'm going to tell you why it's not going to get you there. Because at the end of the day, nobody gives a shit about somebody who's they can't trust. If I cannot trust you, I cannot trust you. And I'm going to drop that topic there because I could talk for another, I can come up with another million dick analogies and jokes. We could turn this into a fucking stand-up comedy for the next 30 minutes on my thoughts on people who are just fucking pussies about shit like that. Don't be, hey, bang, turn that motherfucker upside down. A diamond upside down is a fucking pussy. Now, I learned a lot last night, right? So I'm sitting here in my work, my work, and I realized something. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, right? So I'm out there with Mr. Bad News, and we got a new referee, and we do the deal, and he goes down, right? And I remember you talking about a referee who was like, hey, he's saying get off of him, right? Right then, I thought of you. All I could think about was your face and your voice. Gay as it sounds, right? But all I could think about was this happens, and I look over, and the referee who's supposed to be down is back up to his feet on the outside after taking the bump. The heels have him up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So there's a couple things I want to talk about, and I'll talk about them in that order. So then it's supposed to be time for the champ to grab the belt, right? And look like he's going to hit me with the belt. And we look around and we're like, holy shit, where's the fucking belt? And then I'm looking out my peripheral vision and I see it all the way against the wall, elevated up in the air with the announcers. They have the belt. It's over there. I'm like, why the fuck is it over there? Then we continue to work because the fucking ref's back up. The fucking belt's over there, fucking 15 miles away. And now I've gotten back control and I'm pointing at the commentators. It would have been you over there if you would have been there last night. And Big Josh is over here going, what? And Doc Haywood knows he's not supposed to cue up Sin's music. We very clear. Do not play Sin's music. It shouldn't even have been on his fucking laptop, right? Because no, this isn't happening. And I'm pointing at him, and he's doing commentary like, and I'm pointing from the ring at the fucking belt right in front of him, right? And I'm yelling at him, "Bring it to me, Doc!" And he's like, and I'm doing this, and he must have thought I meant load up the music and hit play, right? So now we got Sin screaming on out of here. And we worked around this, man, and made it into something. But afterwards, I'm not pissed. I just want answers, right? I'm out there. Boyce is out there too. And Boyce was like, well, you know, he's playing mediator. And I'm not mad. So it's like, he's enjoying what's going on. So I say, hey, man, I get the ref out there. I say, come here. I said, I get everybody out there. Finally, I do some detective work, and I bring the ref over, and I go, hey, man, I'm like, why the fuck did you get up after you were bumped? He goes, oh, because RC and Dawn, when they were out there, they came out. He goes, they started shaking me, and they said, get up, man. You got to get up and make the count. And I said, oh, okay. So this is where I remembered you, because they told him, because the heels told the referee who's unconscious, right as he went unconscious, he needed to get up, and it was a rookie ref.
Right.
The motherfucker got up, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, if your buddy if you get knocked out and your friends are around and they go, get up, we got to fight or whatever, I guess you would get up. So, okay, right. I got the answer to that question. And I'm like, oh, okay, mistake. You learned a lot. I learned something here. Now I go, where the fuck was the belt? Why did he get over there? Cedric, he was taking gear last night. So I had assumed it was him. Then I find out the cameraman, my cameraman who's filming, the belt got set down. Usually we have a timekeeper's table where the bell ringer and the ring announcer are butted up to the ring. And in the back where you guys are is where the commentary is. We never keep the belt at commentary because it always stays right there on the table with the timekeeper and the bell ringer, or the ring announcer and the bell ringer. Well, Brandon, the cameraman, was just doing his job. You know, there's the belt was handed down to him. So he's filming and he's holding the belt. And then Manny had come across and just done what I told him to do millions of times, where things need to go. And he's like, oh, there's the belt. He's holding it. So he takes the belt over there. So I'm like, oh shit, okay, all right, guys. And I'm sitting here going, so now I need to realize, like, maybe that meeting we have beforehand for special things with everybody there is important for that type of a reason.
Right.
Because I learned that, because it's like, I don't think we need to have that marquee meeting before the show to go, all right, everybody, let's clap for everybody, blah, 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 blah. I think we need to go, hey, everybody, this is an important thing that's happening on the show. So just in case you happen to be a referee going out there to pass a message along and a fucking belt or a prop gets put down, this is the important to the finish of the main event. Do not touch this thing, right? So I learned a lot there. And with the musical cue, it was like he thought he didn't see the belt down there below him. So he thought I was pointing to hit some music. So
right,
you work with it, which was really good. But like I told everybody, and it goes back to the, hey man, me and my girlfriend, it's our 1 year anniversary, and they're wrestling on a show 30 minutes away or something. But it was very nice to sit there and not have anybody make any fucking excuses when I just asked them. Like, I got everybody together. I just wanted to figure out what happened with these things. Sure. And nobody made an excuse, man. They were so honest and owned up to everything. And I was like, oh, how can I be mad? You guys were just doing, even Cedric. I said, man, I said, man, I thought you grabbed that belt. I thought it was you. And he goes, well, to be completely honest with you, he goes, if Manny wouldn't have grabbed it, I was next. And I was like, right. Jesus, man, it's so nice to have people around that just are going to own up to their shit. So I learned a lot there last night in those situations. So, and there was some new referees, because we had 2 new referees, the guys that had come back to the company that were former wrestlers that started refereeing. So it was a good night, man. And then when it's all over and you're sitting in the locker room and everybody starts chattering, and you said it earlier, and I use you as an example so many times, is like, it's been a tough road, and I've been right there with you on watching this company rebuild for you. You know what I mean? And it's great to see the wins, but most importantly, it's great to have these guys that are on your side and on the ride with you. Like yesterday, he's sitting over here in the chair right now, looking like a Undertaker who just pulled his head up. But when you got your buddies with you and you're just all out here, guys that have been in the business 26 years, helping you load this ring up out of storage, and they're just on this fucking ride with you, man. So yeah, big. I'm excited about tonight, actually. In my anger state, I'm not even mad when I'm rambling on today. I just want people to know the importance out here. Like you said, we are here to help you. So if you want to tell me fuck you, tell me fuck you, but just don't lie to me.
Right, just actually tell me that. Don't go, oh man, I'd really like to do it, but I just can't. I can't get out of work. That's, you bring up it's my such and such's birthday or whatever, and that just reminded me about, like, oh, you know what? I'd like to make it to training tonight, but it's such and such's birthday. It's like, yeah, well, that's cool, man. Like, this brings me right back to coaching, where you have the kids that are, coach, I can't make it to practice today because it's my mom's birthday or whatever. It's like, well, can't you celebrate 2 hours later? Like, or, like, can't you do it on the weekend, or like you can't celebrate it some other time that you're not taking time away from the commitment that you made to come to practice? It's like, the fuck is wrong with people here? It's But you know what? This is what it comes back to so many times. And I talk about this in pro wrestling, in basketball, in teaching, all the different aspects of my life. A lot of these things come back to the different drive that I have to be a professional athlete, and my expectation for people to view things the same way that I did, right? With, you have to be at every practice session. You have to go as hard as you can every time you're at practice. Like, I was just talking to my buddy yesterday about um, the things that you can control when you're a basketball player, and my things are always like, the things you can control is your attitude and your effort, right? You can't control if the basketball is going to go in the hoop. You can't control if your teammate's going to catch the ball and you throw it to them. All these different things that are out of your control. But the things that are in your control is, what type of attitude do I have? Do I have a positive attitude? I talk about palms up or palms down, right? Do I go, oh, come on, man, what happened? Or do I go, hey, guys, let's just settle it down. Everything's going to be cool, right? Let's move on to the next play, right? Am I a complainer with my palms up? Oh, what happened, guys? Or am I like, let's just calm it down, guys. We got this. Move on to the next play. The next play mentality is something that I'm a big proponent of, right? Doesn't matter what just happened, right? I can't change that. But what I can do is I can change the next thing. I can have a good attitude for the next thing. My effort can be at the highest level for the next thing that happens, right? I can continually have the best effort, right? So those things are important for me in all aspects, right? But for some reason, I always expect people to have the same attitude that I have, right? I'm going to go as hard as I can. I'm going to try to be honest. I'm going to do everything that I can to get as good as I can, right? I'm going to be driven to be the best, but I have to come to the realization that that's not how it is with everybody. Not everyone has the same drive to make a living out of pro wrestling that I did. Like, that I was going to go wherever I could to learn more about getting better at this, right? If I had to go to Missouri to go to Harley Race's camp, if I had to go to Kentucky to go to OVW, if I had to go to Florida to go to FCW, like, any opportunity that I could get to go be in the presence of people that are doing this for a living, I was going to do that, right? So in our case, obviously, we're a bit of a smaller scale, but there's still people in our wrestling community on the West Coast that have been around for, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, that we can go and go, hey, watch my match. Can you give me some feedback? What am I doing? What could I be doing better? Things like that, right? We talk about so many times when someone says, hey, can you watch my match? And you give them the feedback. You give them from, 1 to 10 or whatever it is, A to H. I'm going to give you all these little different points of things that you could be doing. And all you expect in return is the next time you watch them wrestle that they've made some sort of change in there. They've taken a little bit of your advice and put it into what they're doing. And all that does is that shows me that you're listening to what I said because you asked me to watch your match. So you're listening to what I said and you're making the effort, right, of the attitude and effort. You're making the effort to get better, to make a change. Obviously, if you were doing everything the right way, you wouldn't be asking me for advice. You would be asking Shawn Michaels or Triple H or somebody at the PC. because that's where you'd be if you were doing everything the right way. So getting back to that, it's like that's all we're looking to do is help guys try to get to that level and try to make a living off of pro wrestling if that's truly what they desire to do.
And girls, we're trying to help guys and girls, man, in this business, right? And you say smaller scale, man. I'm looking up in that right there. Look at that. How can you say smaller scale when the finger's pointing at that fucking duck right there? Quack, quack, motherfucker on the StreamYard. Look at where you're at. Look at those blinds in Mexico behind you. Look at these beautiful fucking collages behind me in this high class studio that we are running in. And to answer the question of the excuse, it's my mother's birthday, I like to tell them, hey, no need to tell your mother happy birthday because we already celebrated last night, right? So when I'm looking at this, too, man, I'm at a point now in my locker room where the guys that when they first started, like you take in Illumide, man, you know, the guys that when they first started we were really deep into coaching them, right? Now, just like it, I'll get my guys going at school, and then Manny Roa or Arsonist or someone will just take over. I'll get everything running. I'll get it started. They'll take over. And the rule is, if you hear me crack the Diet Pepsi, everyone turns and hears the snap, and they go, "Oh, coach is done." He's going to still coach and point some shit out, but he's done. He's done sweat. He's now on the outside enjoying the ride. And I'm watching Illumide last night work with Chip as the referee, and I'm listening to the passion in his voice telling him. And Arsonist comes through the curtain and he says, "Oh, he's talking about Reno." And he says, "Man, that guy goes forever, man. He needs to slow down and cool it down." And I tell him, I'm like, "Tell him when he gets through." So it's coming to a point now where these young guys that we were telling all this stuff to are now figuring it out in their head. And now they're the guys that are talking to the young talent when they come through the curtain. And that's a beautiful thing. So it's another thing I saw last night is, man, you, me, Rick, Boyce, Ugly. I mean, all the guys, I think it's great now that I'm looking around my locker room and my business, and I'm seeing guys that can coach at training. And they're regurgitating the exact knowledge that I'm feeding them, and they're also creating their own ways to do stuff. And to see in the locker room the passion of some of these young guys, like I saw on the internet, and they were talking about, I think it was Ugly, and he's talking about Illumide just showed up at my show at the little building, and I'm like, what's he doing here? Why is he here? And he's watching every match, and he's critiquing guys, and it's like that is a locker room leader. That becomes a locker room leader, and that becomes the same thing where I see it and you see it. And man, you know what I want to point out here? From SPW, the Chase Jackson kid, very humble, showed up and did a great job. But Preston Price, man, we talk about that kid, right? And he deserves his we don't give people, we never got our flowers. And it's these young guys need to get their flowers. And Great Look shows up on time, right? Dressed to the T. I even heard one of the guys that take pictures backstage look at Nathan Brick and Preston Price last night and goes, "Oh, you're a wrestler? You dress really nice for a wrestler." And I thought it was funny because those guys take pride in their appearance. But I mean, not only does this guy go out there and put it on with Illumide, right? And he's there asking beforehand if he can help. But I go, "Hey man, if you want, you can go out there for the battle royal too." And he's like, "Oh shit." You know what I mean? Like, "Yeah, man, I got you." And then afterwards, you look around the locker room, he's still there, right? And he's still in his very nice clothes, walking around the locker room, picking up the cans and the bottles and the shit that's strung out everywhere. And someone makes a joke and they go, "Damn dog, if you need to save up those recyclables, money's that tight." And it's like, that's funny. But no, He's staying till the end. He's helping with the ring, and he's picking up fucking trash in the locker room to make sure the locker room doesn't look like shit, and we can get out of there. He could have left anytime he wanted to, right? So you look at a kid like that, man. If you're out there, and it goes for the Chase Jackson kid too, but if you're out there and you want to know, I'm a young kid coming up, what do I got to do to get on your radar? Great gear, good look, great attitude, shows up on time, asks to help, stays after when it's done, asks to help, watches the matches, every match when it's done, ask if his buddy can record his match, look, dresses nice, great gear. He listens to every fucking word we tell him. So to Mr. Sir Samurai and Scoot Robertson, great fucking job that you've done with these guys on just instilling fucking locker room wrestling etiquette. You know what I mean? Because they're there to help. They're there to break down. But that Preston Price, man, I like you, bro. The kid just, and we talk about him. Very reliable. We're not looking for loyalty. We're looking for reliability, man. Will you be there for us? But I just wanted to shout that out, man. Just watching these young guys grow, right? And watching the new guys able to coach and the guys able to coach in the locker room. I didn't do a lot of coaching last night. And like I said, I like to wait around for the ride home or the next day when I see you, and I'll do some coaching then. I'll do some coaching on my own time now, but it's just a beautiful thing to watch, man, the progression of this. And I'm just so passionate about it, man. I'm so passionate to get in a fucking car and drive up here, but I don't even get to see my buddy today. But no, technically I did, because there you are in front of the blind. Sorry, man. I'm on a good one. I woke up and I was like, I'm tired. And then we started talking. And I'm like, I'm not tired, motherfucker. I'm ready to go.
Exactly. It's funny. You talk about the SPW Training Academy, right? And the reputation for, as long as I can remember, about SPW Training Academy has always been exactly what you just said. Like, they're going to be the guys that are going to go above and beyond, helping with getting there early, setting up, doing all of the little things that we talk about when we talk about what makes someone valuable, right? Or how do you get booked on a show when you're not booked already? And those are the things, man. Showing up on time, helping out, asking what I can do, what can I do to help your show today? We're helping you put the ring together. Can I be security? Can I sell merchandise? Can I take tickets? Whatever it is, all of those little things. But that's definitely been the reputation for, like I said, as long as I can remember, for the SPW Training Academy, is that they're going to do those little things, right? Obviously, you've got some guys that have come out of there that are, on the wrestling side that are amazing too. But like I just said about, attitude and effort, when your foundation for your school has those things involved in it, when you're going to come in with a good attitude and do whatever it takes to help the promoter make their show be a success, and if you're going to put in the effort to do those things of breaking down the ring, setting up the ring, putting chairs up, all the little things, all the behind the scenes things. We were talking about that we could do a full episode on the behind the scenes things of pro wrestling that nobody really knows about, or we don't put a whole lot of focus on. But I feel like that's something with that SPW Training Academy that's always been the things you can count on. If you book those guys on your show, those are the attributes that you're going to get in addition to what they bring to the table on the show itself. So yeah, man, I definitely, mirror your praise for them as well. So Yeah,
Yes.
awesome job with that stuff, and making these kids like, and I talk about this for coaching as well. Um, you know, I'm not trying to necessarily create just great basketball players or great pro wrestlers. I'm trying to also help create great human beings to carry on, what we're going to leave as our legacy. You want them to be able to kind of carry that on, and be the next stage, and you talk about guys that are just jump in there and are regurgitating things that you've given them as far as training to be a pro wrestler, and they're passing that on to the next crop of people. You just, it's so heartwarming to know, like, you just get it going and your guys can take over and tell the next crop of students the exact same thing that you would have told them, because you told these guys that over and over and over. So that's awesome, man. That's how things are going, and I think that that's one of the main things that we're trying to accomplish with this podcast in general, and the way that we look at wrestling is that's what we want. We want those things to keep happening, and we want the lessons that we've taught our students to be taught from our students to the next crop of students as well.
For sure, man. And it seems like, you earlier on in this, I'm bitching about something, right? I'm bitching. I'm not bitching about anything that shouldn't be bitched about. Like, I'm not calling anybody out by name. I'm saying something obviously triggered me to say that, but it didn't trigger me like I'm angry at somebody. It triggered me because it just I can't believe that this happens all the time. I've been around for 25, 26 years. I see this shit all the time, and you're just like, come on, bro. Like, what's going on here? What are you doing? Why would you be doing this? So when I'm saying stuff like this, I'm looking out for, it's like the Preston pricing I just brought up, and we talked about SPW. We're giving examples of, man, I'm a promoter, you're a promoter. Wow, I just saw this stuff. And what I want to say is there was a lot of time yesterday that I was starting to go towards a negative mindset with, oh, we only had this many fans, or oh, the gate wasn't as good as I thought. So I was going into this negativity state, and I looked around from top to bottom, and every person that I have now surrounded myself around picked me up, gave me something to be grateful for, and told me how something positive, right? So now I'm looking around in this year of recovery and boundaries I've set and what I've done, and I'm going, hey, you know what? From top to bottom, every person that I'm surrounding myself around now just got me out of a negative mind state that I was in for a second, and they picked my ass back up. And then I looked around and I went, damn, dude, there is a lot. There was a lot of good that came out of last night. And then you're sitting there in the locker room. I think it took me like an hour or something to get out of my spandex. People were talking to me, and people kept saying, hey, man, are you going to change? And I was just sitting in there listening to everyone talking, smiling. And I was like, no, I'm not, because I'm in this unbelievable zone right now where I'm at peace. I got my gear on. My nuts are sweaty. I don't care. You know what I mean? So the people you surround yourself with, man, and it's perspective. We look and we go, hey, man, this wasn't what I had thought. The vision and the execution of this finish wasn't what I expected. Why did this happen? There should be more people here. I promoted harder. Hey, man, that's where you have to be. That's where God has put you at this point in this journey, and that journey's going to get better. Ride that shit out. It's that old saying, right? You got to spend money to make money, and you're not always going to make money. There's going to be hard times. You got to keep pushing forward. And there was never a moment of I was going to push forward, but I started to get negative thoughts in my head. It just started naturally happening. And if the wrong people would have been around, it could have turned into,
That's it, man. Palms up.
But that's what it turned into. Hey, calm down. It's cool, man. It'll grow. It'll get better. So, man, the people you surround yourself with. Oh, say it, Paul. Tell us.
Just got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left in this podcast.
5 minutes remain in this podcast with Primetime and Big Paul. But no, that's the thing, man. I learned more about, instead of talking about situations today and like, oh, you got the headlock, you need to count it out this way. I did want to say something. Everything in wrestling, we had talked about chain wrestling, everything has a inside and outside and a regular and a reverse. So I was sitting there, and we've always done the double wrist lock, right? And the double wrist lock happens on the inside. But when we're here and we turn it over, we got this 2-on-1 situation, and someone goes, "What is the name of that?" And I'm sitting there in it at practice. I'm like, "Oh fuck," you know what I mean? Like, and then I go, "Oh," I'm looking down and I go, "Oh, it's a double wrist lock." I'm on the outside. I'm like, "Oh, it's an outside double wrist lock." Because then here's the inside double wrist lock. And then here's the inside armbar, but here's the outside armbar. Hey, if you got the top hand wrist, look at me. I'm on the inside of the top hand wrist. But over here, I'm on the outside of the top hand wrist. Oh, see this wrist lock? Oh, here's also a reverse wrist. And I was like, there was a moment of clarity for me, right? Where I almost got called out by, I think it was a younger fucking student. And they're like, "What is that move called that you're always doing?" And I'm like, I had it on and I was like, motherfucker. I almost looked over for a second and I was like, who spoke? Because you're in trouble for the rest of the week. And then I looked down and I was like, well, I look at him and I'm like, well, wrist, double wrist. And then I'm like, I'm on the outside of this bitch. I'm like, oh, we're going to now call this one the outside double wrist lock, which is but I never thought of that. And that person pointed that out. So perspective, man. Are you on the inside or you?
That's right.
Okay, we're back. We're back.
Oh, it just started going haywire for a second there, Humbud. Yeah, so I mean, and obviously we want to be on the inside. I want to have all the inside info so I know what's going on. Which it just makes me laugh. Just going back to the whole referee thing. Oh, he said to back up. Don't hit him anymore. It's like, I think he's just being a heel, bud. You know, hey, referee, wake up. I think they're just playing a role here, bud. I don't think he actually needs you to get up, but he needs the fans to hear you say that. Hear him say that. It's great stuff, man. But you know what? That's basically the wrestling fandom right there. It's like, I'm in the wrestling business, but I'm still a fan of this. So I'm listening to you say something to me, and I think it's the insider terms. So I don't know. That's funny.
Reality, common sense. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. Professional wrestling, staged performance. We want you to suspend your belief as the audience. Absolutely not. And that's okay. That's okay. My reactions were so funny because I'm getting going where I need to go, and I'm putting on, and I look over and I see the ref, and the bad guys got the ref up, and he's like, "Oh, thank you guys for dusting me off. I'm going to get back in the ring now." And I was like, "What the fuck's he doing up?" And then when bad news is turned around, like, "Where's the belt?" Now I'm sitting here like, "Yeah, motherfuckers, where is the belt?" And I was not palms down, I was fingers down. And because I'm mashing like this, Doc Haywood's over here and he's like, "What? You want me to cue up somebody's music? You told me not to cue up and play." Boing! And I'm just like, oh, what else could go wrong here? You know, and then the fucking everything falls from the roof and crushes us, or the fucking rope breaks, and it was just funny. And then Bad News tried to get back in the ring, and he's coming after me, and he trips over the bottom rope as he's trying to get in and falls flat on his face. And I'm just like, motherfucker, all right. So you know what he got for his efforts? Euro, chop, forearm, combo, and the chop, he had his chin down. I Euroed him, and he went to put his chin down, and I'm already coming around with the old elbow Barry Bonds bat to the face, and then bringing the hand through. Hey, Paul, you got anything else? We got 9 seconds.
Nothing else, man. Capital City Combat coming up in the next month. But today, it's Reno Wrestle Factory.
Hey, primetime Paul, going over.